claim that I made that has some big idea words highlighted. So this claim relates actually back to the Holocaust Humanities Unit that we did before. The reason why I did this one is because I think it will be easier for you to make connections to a historical pattern if you have kind of a historical example. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to go through this. I have some pieces of evidence that I'm going to have us put up and kind of work through a map. So the reason why I decided to do this is because I noticed that you are really, really great at writing claims and really great at gathering evidence, but sometimes it's difficult for you to make the direct connections. That's why I have these big idea words boxed out and highlighted so that you know that this can directly correlate to one of your pieces of evidence. That's what we're going to practice when we do this together. Marin?
So in our essay, will we have to, will it be required to use those examples?
No. So these words you won't have to use today in yours. These are just the words that I used in mine for the exam.
Will we have certain words that we have to use?
No. Okay. No. This is just to get you thinking.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm going to read the claim and then put up some pieces of evidence and ask you to tell me where you think they belong. Yeah.
For the formatting for the essays,
Yeah.
what is it gonna look like?
So it's gonna be, you're gonna have a claim, introduce that. It's gonna be 5 paragraphs, so 3 of your paragraphs can be those 3 pieces of evidence. But you're also going to introduce the strongest piece of evidence from the opposing argument side. So if you are arguing, yes, the US should have dropped the bombs, you'll get 3 pieces of evidence for why the US should have dropped the atomic bombs, and then 1 really, really strong piece of evidence for why they should not have. So the reason that we're doing that is because you're going to need to prove that your claim is really strong. So by referencing the other strong piece of evidence from the opposing side and being able to discount it, that proves that your claim really has some validity. So we're going to practice that today as well. I also have some packets of notes from all 4 periods of the trials that we had in the past 2 days. So I have a packet for the defense side and a packet for the prosecution side. So you can come up and take those in a minute if you want to look at them. Because some of you might not want to argue the one that you practiced. Yeah, Ava.
So for the other teams, big evidence, could we put that into one of our 3 paragraphs? Because one of our evidence is against that.
Yeah, so if you want to be like, the other side claims this, but I have this.
So one of our evidence has to be that.
You'll have 3 pieces of evidence that support yours, and then you will reference 1 piece of evidence, so there'll be 4.
Okay, so it'll be 6 paragraphs?
It'll still be 5 paragraphs. You can put that other piece of evidence into one of your 3 paragraphs, or in all 3 of them. Yeah, it doesn't need to be in 1 paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to read this claim and then go through the evidence and ask you to help me out kind of putting these around the board. So my main part of the claim is students should learn about the Holocaust. So that's the initial, can you put those down please, Calvin?
No.
That's the initial part of the claim. So then I have the word because. So because sets up the pieces of evidence that you're going to introduce, or the big idea words that you're going to introduce. So I have 3 parts here. They're on separate sheets of paper. You can't see them. I am going to read them out for you. So it prevents history from repeating itself. Who can identify the word in this one? Calvin?
History.
Thank you. It promotes acceptance. Who can identify it? James? Great job. And it teaches the importance of speaking out against injustice. Brendan?
Injustice.
Awesome. So, let me read out my first piece of evidence to you. So my first piece of evidence is, students who see the horrible things that prejudice cause are less likely to act that way. Which part of my claim does this connect most to, do you think? Xander?
Injustice.
Injustice. Okay, does anybody have a different idea? Or do we all kind of agree with that? You think acceptance? What do you think?
History.
You're thinking the prevents history.
Yeah, I think it's.
Okay, so we can go through all 3 of them, and then decide that piece of tape is missing, and then decide where we want to put them. Okay, the second one, learning about Hitler helps people recognize the signs of a corrupt leader.
History.
History, do we agree with that?
Yeah.
Awesome. And the final piece from my side, silence and indifference to the suffering of others perpetuates the problem, meaning it causes the problem or allows the problem to happen.
No. Injustice.
You think
So switch.
Switch. Student.
Okay, can you read it again? Do that?
Yeah.
And then that one's acceptance.
Okay. Yeah. addition, I do have a piece of argument from the opposing side. Just what I imagine they might say. So, this person might argue that students should not learn about the Holocaust because the Holocaust is violent and upsetting. So I'm going to put this over to the side. Later we're going to have to kind of connect that to our claim to prove that our claim can disprove
The
this.
Holocaust is violent and upsetting, but kids might do it again. Kids might murder each other.
Awesome, so we can share that in a minute. Raise your hands.
Thank you, Xander.
Okay, so how do we want to explain how this one, learning about Hitler, connects to history? Catherine?
Because what Hitler did is history, or it's like it happened, it's part of history.
So how does it help prevent history from repeating itself?
Being aware of it and knowing what happened can,
Recognizing.
yeah, and knowing
Recognizing it.
how bad it was.
And how do you think that means that recognizing a corrupt leader, how does that make sense to history repeating itself? So what happened with the corrupt leader in the Holocaust? How did that connect?
Put like so many people through terror.
Yeah, so Abby?
Like, well, basically, since if kids know about that this happened or that it's happened before, that we've had a corrupt leader, they're gonna be less like they're gonna be like more like I don't say watching, but they're gonna
Vigilant?
yeah, they're gonna be like more vigilant about making sure it doesn't happen again because they like know the consequences and like the outcome.
Awesome. Do you want to define vigilant to the class? In your best way?
Vigilant. Ready for danger.
Vigilant, well, that's like ready or watching or something. It's kind of like
Yeah, it was a worldly wise word.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Watchful.
I was so
Ready,
happy
watch
for
it.
you,
Yeah,
and
ready
then
for
you
danger.
failed.
Hold on.
Okay, in a minute James will probably help us with that one.
Pretty sure the
exact one is watchful, ready for danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, while James is looking for that in the Worldly Wise book, can we move on to the second part? It promotes acceptance. So how do students see the horrible things that prejudice cause are likely to act that way connect to acceptance and promoting acceptance? Ava?
So like, and you learn about how bad how bad it was, and like how they're like not treating Jews the way they treated everyone else. They wouldn't.
Alright, listen to Ava, please.
They would kind of like feel their pain and wouldn't want that to happen to like anyone.
Yeah. So they empathize with. Yeah. Yes, Worldly Wise is today, but we're not checking it today. Yeah. Okay, so how does empathizing with the Jews kind of make us not want to act that way today? Catherine?
Sounds like
Xander, call down Catherine, but in a minute you can share.
Just seeing like what happened to them and being like, I don't know how, like, because the fact that it can happen again.
Yeah. So that could even also kind of connect to this one, right?
Yeah.
The history one. Xander, what would you like to say?
If it could happen to us,
Could
just
happen
think
to
about
us.
it. Aliens could do it.
Yeah.
They
Aliens could
Guys,
do
they're
it.
coming one day.
Eventually, yes. Eventually, they will come.
What?
Okay, final piece.
Pay for our sins.
Friends up here. So it teaches the importance of speaking out against injustice. What we had under that is silence and indifference to the suffering of others perpetuates the problem. How did I check? Abby?
So it helps you understand like that's wrong, so you can kind of it teaches the importance of speaking out against injustice. Like if you learn about what's wrong, you know that you have to make it right, or you know that if it comes about, you know that you have to make it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
I know to Abby, it's essentially saying that like the silence, if you're silent, then it promotes the problem, and like that proves the importance of speaking.
Awesome. Really good job. Xander?
If you don't try to stop it, you're as bad as the people who are doing it.
Okay. So one way that we can describe that is, has anybody ever heard of the word complicit before?
Yeah.
Yes.
What does that mean to you? Complicit. Xander?
Complicit is like you're okay with what's happening. You're not gonna do
Yeah.
anything about it.
By being silent and indifferent to it, you're kind of allowing it to happen.
Bystander.
It's like, oh, that's
A
getting
bystander.
beat up.
Another wordly wise word. Okay, so how did that happen in the Holocaust?
Let's go.
Kelvin, do you want to share?
By being a bystander?
Yeah, how did that happen in the Holocaust?
Well, there were people that agreed with Hitler. There were
Or
all the
Japan.
Nazis.
No, they didn't necessarily agree. They just
Yeah,
wanted to talk
yeah.
out because they died.
They also knew that if they spoke out, Hitler would have done something to them.
Yeah.
And so
They
they
didn't
kind of
wanna
had to
risk their
agree,
lives.
and that's
Yeah.
like you might want to be like saving your life, but also like even if people didn't know, you could also like feel like, oh, I did something. Like trying to help, even if no one else sees that you're helping, you feel
One person can make a difference.
one person.
Yeah. Something the other class said is if enough people had spoken out and gone against him, it might have been very different, right? Catherine?
Yeah, like there were people who thought that what he was doing was horrible and they were being a bystander because they weren't speaking up and saying it.
Yeah, they were afraid. So let's move on to this piece, the evidence that somebody against this claim might argue. So the Holocaust is violent and upsetting. How can we prove that our claim, even though this might be true, our claim is still more valid? Nina?
Okay, so yes, it was violent and it's upsetting back then, and it's exactly why we need to learn about it, because if it happens again, it's gonna be more violent and upsetting, and so if we learn about how bad it was, then we can help prevent it.
So start next to the first
So, yeah, sort of connects to the first one.
So that's a really great way to do that because you did exactly what I wanted you to do without even knowing it. You connected it to one of my pieces of evidence.
So would you put that in your first paragraph? Well, second paragraph?
Yeah, wherever you want to incorporate it. If it feels natural and it flows in, wherever. It doesn't need to be in a specific place. Yeah, Xander.
The Holocaust deniers, like only 22% of the entire population know about the Holocaust. If you think about that, most of the world is ignorant to something that killed 11 million people. If people are ignorant and
6 million.
deny it happens, that means
11
other
million.
people know they can do it and they can get away with it.
Awesome. So does this make sense to you, this map that we have up here?
Yes.
So what I'm going to ask us to do on our own, you can talk with your table groups, you all are going to have your own product today. I want you to do this for the trial. So if you are arguing, yes, the US should have dropped the atomic bombs on Japan, that you'll gather 3 pieces of evidence for that, and the strongest piece of evidence against it. If you're arguing, no, they shouldn't have dropped it, then you'll get 3 pieces of evidence for how they shouldn't have, and 1 for why they should have. Yeah, Ava?
Do we have to have like the exact like the United States shouldn't have dropped the bomb or like should have? Can we like kind of change it a little bit?
You can have your own claim. You can definitely personalize your claim. Whatever you really want to claim, whatever you're going to write about in your 5-paragraph essay, that's what you're going to want your claim to be. Also, you can change it. You can move them around. You can find out the best place for your piece of evidence, like we did kind of change them around today, right? Calvin?
So I was on like the prosecution team.
Yep.
But I think like the U.S. like should like yeah they dropped the bombs, like they could have used a smaller bomb, but I have a lot of evidence for they shouldn't. Can I just?
Yeah. Also, don't forget that I do have these notes for you that you can use. So if you want to grab the prosecution side or the defense side, you can grab those.
The
article
gone on for
Yeah, I did.
years more even decades ago.
And what did
to prove that claim?
what did ending the war do?
General from Japan said that they would have kept fighting until all their soldiers had died.
Write that in your
And it had enough soldiers to last for years.
Yes.
So I'm guessing I don't believe that you are in disagreement. Okay, so which side are you arguing? So yes, no, they shouldn't have dropped the bomb. Okay, so why do you think that? So what's like the general idea of that thing? Of that claim that you just said? It killed people, it destroyed buildings. How would you describe that? Awesome. So that can be your big idea. So you can write, no, the U.S. shouldn't have dropped the bombs because it was destructive, and then kind of expand a little bit with your evidence. I'm going to go help Ava, and then I'll come back if you need it.